It's the Machine of Nonsense. It's episode 9, and before I get into introductions, I wanted to let everyone know a little bit of breaking news. I don't know if everyone's been keeping up with it, but the Biden administration is going to investigate some shortages. Have you heard about this? Well, whether you have or you haven't, they're investigating shortages in this pod. We just haven't gone long enough, guys. We just haven't gone long enough. So, Joe got me on the phone. He said, man, I need a long one. I need a big, long one. And I was a little concerned initially, but we got down to it. He wants a long pod. So, Commander-in-Chief, I gotta oblige. Let's do it. Let's have a long pod. Nelson, how are you today?
Oh, I was better before Creepy Sleepy Joe got in the mix. Hello.
How about you? How about you, Tomas? How are you?
I'm doing great.
And Ryan, how's it going?
Yeah, better than Mike.
How are you, Josh?
My shoulder's a little sore, but I'm not okay.
And Kayla, my dear, how are you?
Doing good.
Oh, so I'm your host, Eric. We got Ryan, Josh, Mike, Tomas, and Kayla on the pod today, and we're discussing all kinds of things. Like I said, this is going to be a long one, so I apologize ahead of time. The first thing we're going to do is talk about the state of play. PlayStation's recent conference that they had, press conference, little video show, whatever you want to call it. They announced and showed 10 new-ish games. We'll get into what's not new and what's. I got Mike just doing a little head shake because not a lot of new stuff. So we are going to start with that discussion, and then we're going to go into our reboots. I teased it on some past episodes. We're going to reboot some really bad previous video game adaptations. Mostly bad. They're all pretty mostly bad. Some worse than others. But we're going to have a little twist. We're going to play a crossover game. I'll tell you what that is later. First, like I said, let's get into the state of play. So 10 videos were shown, 10 trailers, a little bit of gameplay were shown by Sony. Let you make the decision of whether that was a little underwhelming or not. But what we got Crash Bandicoot 4 announced for the PS5. Showed a little bit of gameplay there. We had Returnal for the PS5. Not new, was kind of already shown before. They showed a little bit more detail. And we have a release date of April 30th. We got Knockout City, May 27th release date on that one. This is a dodgeball game.
That's May 21st.
You're right, May 21st. I said something else. May 21st for Knockout City. This is a dodgeball game, competitive. Looks to have a lot of like the Fortnite aesthetic without a battle royale twinge. Sifu was the next thing announced. It's some kind of kung fu game where if you get knocked down, you get older. So that's interesting. Then we had Solar Ash. Not a new announcement. A little bit of this was shown, but they went into a little more detail. They showed a lot of gameplay, very fast-moving.
Colorful
gameplay. Yeah, definitely. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach was shown. Another sequel in a long list of sequels and DLC and whatever from the Five Nights at Freddy's people. Then we went on to Oddworld Soulstorm, which had a release date put on it of April 6th. Also, it's going to be free for PS Plus. So I don't think that was ever announced before the state of play. Kena, Bridge of Spirits, was shown again, but in more detail. And that's got an August 24th release date. Deathloop, we got another little bit of Deathloop trailer gameplay. What we got was a James Bond themed thing. They had a theme song, very James Bond-ish. A lot more dialogue, showed off some guns. Deathloop is May 21st. And then we also, to conclude the show, got Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is some kind of new episode featuring Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII in some surely wacky situations, I bet. So, let's go around the room and see if anything really stood out to anyone. Ryan, start us off.
Yeah, probably for me, of all the things they introduced was probably Kenya, Bridge of Spirits. Really excited for that one. Nothing too new, that we haven't seen before, but in terms of gameplay, I believe the Final Fantasy game, their, I guess, DLC, if you will, for PS5, and that's really all new for me. Everything else, I'm not too interested in.
What about you, Mike? What'd you think of it?
Overall, I was left very cold, but Sifu looks pretty cool. Slap Games, they did a game called Absolver a few years back, and it had like a similar style to it, where you were just kind of like going out into the world, like it's like a kung fu artist, and you were fighting other characters that you would encounter. And I think if you were able to parry their whatever move they knew like multiple times, you would learn that move. You would get stronger and stronger as you go in the world, and you had to fight like kung fu masters or something like that. So this seems like a cool iteration on that, and looks cool.
What did you think of it, Kayla? Anything stand out?
I'm excited for Kina. That's how I
think it's Kina.
Kina, Bridge of Spirits, and Oddworld is definitely something that I remember as a child that I have gone back and tried to play the original, and it was really hard. So I'd like to see what, with today's functionality and ease of movement, how it plays.
How about you, Josh? Anything stand out?
I'm really disappointed about the Final Fantasy thing, because I'm not going to play it. But the thing is, I'm a huge Yuffie fan, as everyone knows. My Xbox 360 gamer tag used to be Youth, there it is. Nice. So I'm not going to play this game. I was really hoping to see her in the next parts, like that would be her introduction. That's probably the thing I was most excited for in the next Final Fantasy VII reboot section. So disappointing that she's in a game I'm never going to play.
Yeah. How about you, Tomas?
Yeah, Josh kind of matched my same sentiments. As far as like all the other stuff, I could really care less. I just a little disappointed about the Final Fantasy VII thing. It's coming out for PS5, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm getting force jacked out of like material for a game that I already paid $60 for on my PS4, and now I can't even get a PS5, and now they're releasing new content on said console.
Well, here's the thing with that. I did some research on that, and apparently if you already own the game, if you get a PlayStation 5, you got to pay the money for PlayStation 5. But you can't, since you bought the game digitally, you can upgrade to that, whatever. But the DLC apparently is still separate. So it feels like a cheap ploy to get you to buy the new 4K version, which is square for you, I guess.
It's just a little too much roundabout, like, kind of just give me a full game. I don't want to have to buy it in parts and segments. Other than that, the idea of that Sifu game sounds pretty fun. Get knocked down, you get older. But yeah, a lot of the other stuff I already heard about or knew about. I could care less about another Crash Bandicoot or an Oddworld. There's a reason those games haven't been around forever, as far as I'm concerned. It's just another platformer. But yeah, not too impressed.
Yeah, I think with this kind of bookending, you had the Nintendo Direct, then you had BlizzCon, and then now you have this State of Play.
Wow.
Kind of all within a week and a half. I think the general sentiment, at least mine, your guys, and what I've heard on other podcasts as well, like real underwhelming. overall. I mean, if this is supposed to represent what we're supposed to be excited for the next year and a half, from basically all platforms at this point. I mean, maybe Xbox does something soon to really wow us, but, you know, we'll see. You know, not going to hold our breath on that. You know, just the breadth of all of this stuff combined from Nintendo, from Sony, from Blizzard, kind of, yeah, like I said, underwhelming. Is that the general sentiment around the table as well? What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I it's very underwhelming, but there's going to be a mid-year, like June type thing from all these
E3 again. Yeah.
companies. So maybe not at E3. We'll still see if that even happens or whatever. But there's going to be another check-in with Sony and Nintendo for sure. So I think they're just holding back because a lot of things are still in the air with COVID. So, and there's a fourth presentation that we won't talk about today, but it brought the goods. So a little teaser.
Ooh. Yeah, we'll be hitting on that fourth presentation that Mike teased on our next episode, on episode 10. Mike, you might call it the Metapod. You might. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh man.
Maybe you'll call it that. Maybe you won't. But yeah. So I think that is the general consensus, is that, you know, some of this stuff isn't coming out for a while. I mean, I hope Mike's right. I hope that June E3-ish time or whatever anyone else is doing, you know, separate conferences or separate events that they're going to do. You know, I hope something big blows up. That'd be great. But, I mean, between the Nintendo Direct not telling us anything about Breath of the Wild 2, the State of Play not... let's say dropping a Silent Hill, like that was the rumor, or anything. Yeah, those rumors have been out actually for a little while, that, you know, something would be coming from Silent Hill, or, I mean, anything, no information about Horizon 2, God of War 2, anything like that. And then Blizzard, you know, with their BlizzCon, you didn't get a date on Diablo 4 or something like that, or a new IP or a new StarCraft or something, you know, and anything like that. So if anyone was really anticipating something new and groundbreaking, or, you know, something to really be excited, you know, maybe that's not the case right now. So cross our fingers till June, I guess, on all that. We'll shift gears quite a bit to the crux of the episode. We're playing a game. We're making some reboots. I teased this on several episodes, honestly, but I don't think I gave it enough credit. We're doing some fun stuff here. So what we're doing, we are taking 6. Each of our cast members today picked a previous video game adaptation. We have 1 TV show, and we have 5 movies that people picked. And first off, we're going to do it better. We're going to salvage these things. I'm going to tell you what they are and kind of the critical reviews of them. They're not great. And then we're going to salvage them. We're going to pitch how we would salvage these properties, these adaptations. And then we're going to have a little bit of mid-game discussion. Then we're going to have what I like to call a crossover episode. I'll get into that in a moment. So first, let's get the 6 items that we're going to be discussing today. So I picked Alone in the Dark with a 1% Rotten Tomatoes score, sitting pretty there. This is without a doubt the biggest piece of garbage in this 6 adaptation list. And because I bleed for my art, I watched this movie last night. So, yeah. Kayla picked Doom, a movie we also watched last night, sitting at 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, 17% better than Alone in the Dark. Josh has picked Silent Hill, arguably the best of this list, sitting at 31% at Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't do animated shows from the late 80s, but I did find an IGN review, and they gave it a 6 out of 10 for Captain N. Captain N, the Game Master. I need to put respect on the name. I apologize. Ryan picked Double Dragon. That's got a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. And Hitman was Tomas's pick, rounding it out with a solid 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. So as you can see, and we've discussed on previous episodes, video game adaptations are not seen very favorably. But we're going to put our brains together, and we're going to fix them. We're going to create our versions, our pitches for how these could be rebooted, remade, changed up, and salvaged to... not make them 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I feel like me, I can do better than 1%. Come on. I can just, I went easy, guys. I went easy. So, yeah. So how we're going to do this is first, I'm going to give everyone, well, I've already picked the names random. First off, I've randomized a list of how, we're going to go in order. I'll give that out. Why not? No one knows except me, but I got it written down here. We're going Mike. Then we're going Ryan. Then we're going Tomas. Then we got Eric. Then we have Josh. And rounding out is Kayla. So, that's the turn order. Mike, Ryan, Tomas, Eric, Josh, Kayla. What Mike will do first is he's going to be given about 30 seconds to explain what Captain N the Game Master was. Then he's going to be given 2 minutes to pitch his idea for what Captain N the Game Master can be. What is the Mike Captain N? The Captain M the Game Master. Ooh. What is that? Or I guess it could still be Captain N, Captain Nelson. I call him Nelson all the time. So that's why you picked it, right, Nelson? Yeah, gotcha.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. So 30 seconds to tell you what it was, 2 minutes to pitch the reboot, then on to the next person. Same rules apply for the next person. Does anyone have any questions? No, because we went over it pre-show. Of course, no questions. So, Mike, start us off. What the hell is Captain N the Game Master?
Captain N was a cartoon mixed with some live action elements, similar to like the Super Mario Super Show with Captain Lou Albano. A character, Captain N, would join up with Nintendo characters like Mega Man from Mega Man, Simon from Castlevania, Pit from Kid Icarus. And they would have to, it was like an Adventure of the Week style type thing. You'd have to beat the bad guy from said game, I believe.
Sounds really hard to top. So, tell me when you're ready, and I'll hit the old timer, and you'll have 2 minutes to pitch me what Captain Nelson, the Game Master, will be.
All right, I am ready.
Time now.
All right, so Epic, who is the developer of Fortnite, has been doing a lot of type of crossovers and putting characters like Kratos in their game, Master Chief from Halo. But instead of getting a Nintendo character, they are going to get the rights to this show. And they are going to, it's going to be set in the near future. And they have developed a VR campaign for Fortnite at this point. And to promote it, they got Ninja, who's one of the biggest streamers in the world, who will be our Captain N in the situation. Drake, his buddy and streaming partner sometimes. Dr. Disrespect, people will forgive him for all his shortcomings. Previously, he will be one of the villains in the game, along with St. Vincent also, who is a famous singer, songwriter, who is a big Fortnite fan. So they're all in at this event to promote this campaign, and they're in the VR headsets, and fucking a big, huge thunderstorm happens. Like, it's crazy. And, like, zaps something. This is a kid's show, mind you. Geared towards kids. And They get stuck. They get zapped into the game, and it's going to be like a 6-part thing. And it's going to be within this campaign, and Ninja and Drake and a bunch of other type of streamers will be in the show as well. We won't have a lot of big name actors in this. Will have to complete this campaign in order to potentially free themselves from the thing. And it will premiere within Fortnite and on the Epic Store as well. That's how we'll watch it.
And that's time.
Nice.
That was so Captain Ninja, the game master.
Yes.
I like it. Very nice. Very Captain Ninja, Fruit Ninja. I feel something. I feel something here. Okay. Oh boy. All right. So everyone, that was Captain N. Wonderful, honestly. Ryan, you're up next. Give me about 30 seconds. And tell me what Double Dragon was.
So Double Dragon was a beat 'em up, pretty much between like it's post-apocalyptic, between like 80s or 90s, sort of like in a quote unquote punk environment. About these brothers named Billy and Jimmy Lee, and essentially they're kind of they entered like a martial arts tournament and essentially just fall into some bad ties and have to go against this syndicate called what was it called? Shadow. Not sure. Remember the name?
Yeah, Shadow Moses. Let's go with Shadow Moses.
Shadow Moses against Shukukan or whatever his name is. So hence Double Dragon.
Cool.
Yeah. So my movie pitch to change it up, since we didn't do good initially, is whenever you're ready for the timer.
Go to town.
Here we go. So Double Dragon, the way I envisioned it, you got Danny DeVito, Sebastian Stan, Chris Evans, 2 theater buffs struggling with their careers, get a breakthrough play directed by Danny DeVito. Hence you have a Double Dragon on Broadway with Danny DeVito. In the battle of trying to win his father's heart, Chris Evans basically builds a relationship with Sebastian Stan characters, turns into a romance. That's my pitch.
Oh boy, okay. Alright. Short and sweet. That's...
Keep in mind...
That one Pixar.
Yeah. Characters' names are... Chris Evans' character is Mike, and Sebastian Stan's character is Eric. So these two fall hopelessly, madly in love with each other, and they do it so, making the play on Broadway, Double Dragon.
But that's already been done in real life, so I think you're just plagiarizing real life. Okay, cool. This is going directly against President Biden's order. We need to lengthen these episodes.
Lengthen these bad boys.
No, that was great. That was great. So Danny DeVito is directing a Chris Evans, Sebastian Stan Double Dragon Broadway show. Is this a movie about that, or is this a Broadway show?
It's a movie about a play.
A movie about a play. All right. Back to the producers. I got you. Okay.
Do you want me to push the button for it?
It's Tomas next.
Oh.
So it is Tomas next. Give me about 30 seconds about Hitman.
All right, so I've never seen this movie, but I will read you the synopsis off of the Wikipedia. Raised from childhood by the mysterious Diana organization, Agent 47 is the perfect killer. But when he is dispatched to kill the Russian president, 47 discovers that his employers have betrayed him. Damn. Taking prostitute and possible witness Nico with him, the enigmatic assassin flees from both Interpol and the Russian Secret Service as he fights to uncover the root of the conspiracy. Ooh.
Oh man, bald Timothy Oliphant, best Timothy Oliphant, you know?
Worst.
Okay. So Tomas, whenever you're ready, I'll start the 2-minute timer. Tell us how you're gonna fix Hitman.
I'm ready.
Boom!
Oh shit. Okay, so alright, so it's Agent 47 is still very much, this assassin. He grew up in this organization. But the whole idea is it's going to focus more on Agent 47's life, like the things that he's always wanted to do with his life, other than being this, assassin. So essentially, it's like he's got all this stuff up in his room when nobody ever sees him. He's got this Chuck Liddell poster in the corner. He's got a refrigerator full of Brisk with Chuck Liddell's picture on it. And he always wanted to be an MMA fighter. That was his life, his dream, and his ambition. And the idea of the movie is he's gonna do this last mission. So that's pretty much true to the original movie. And he's gonna take down this organization. And when he's, it's like, this is the last run, this is the last job. After this one, I'm gonna, follow my dreams. I'm gonna hang out with Big Chuck. I'm gonna take down Rampage Jackson in the, the Octagon, and I'm gonna fulfill everything that I wanted to ever do in my life. So he takes down the organization wherever it happens. I imagine like a building, with flames, it's burning, and he's walking away from it very slowly while Godsmack's "I Stand Alone" plays in the background. It's like just slowly pan out as he's walking away from the building, and yeah, and he fulfills his dreams, and it's beautiful, man.
I Stand Alone's worked in every media it's ever been in, so I think you got an Oscar coming to you, Tomas.
Absolutely.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so I'm next. I'm gonna have Kayla keep me honest, and I'll have her start the timer. But I do get 30 seconds to tell you a little bit about Alone in the Dark. So I'll start off. So Alone in the Dark was a survival horror computer game based on the works of H.P. Lovecraft. So scary Victorian houses, investigations of the paranormal, a lot of creepy hallways, stuff like that. So think of Resident Evil or Silent Hill, but all in small environments, very little action. Alone in the Dark, the movie, is an action movie. It is a kung fu movie. Christian Slater does a shit ton of kung fu in this movie. There are shootouts. There's a special ops team that deals with fucking murder dogs. It is awful. So, let's start the timer.
And ready, set, go.
Woo. Alright, so, let's take it back to its roots. First off, let's make it scary. We're gonna make an actual scary horror movie. It's a survival horror video game, so you're limited on your weapons. You're limited on what you can see. You're not a kung fu master. You're not Christian Slater. It's set in the 20s in the video game, so I like that aesthetic. Let's make it the 1920s. I also think this should be a series. I'm thinking True Detective, We're going to have a detective or paranormal investigator, private eye, what have you, investigating creepy stuff. Pretty similar X-Files vibe, True Detective vibe, but we've got an unreliable narrator. We don't know if this guy is really seeing things. Does H.P. Lovecraftian horrors actually exist? Or is this guy just crazy? So I want this to be played by Nicolas Cage. I want someone who knows what it is to be on the edge. So I want a 10-episode series where the first 5 episodes, man, it looks like this dude is dealing with some paranormal shit. But then the next 5 episodes, we're not so sure. We get a little backstory. We see that this guy maybe isn't all there. Why was he thrown off of the force? Maybe he had some weird things happen in his life. He's an alcoholic, opium addict. Maybe it's the 20s. But I want Nicolas Cage in the sequel to True Detective called Alone in the Dark. And I want him to be alone and in the dark and not do kung fu.
Love it.
Cheers.
Nice.
All right.
Very nice.
Oh, there's the time. I could have talked for like 5 more seconds. Oh, just do that.
Really gonna hurt you.
Oh, man. Okay.
Pause button.
We had some phone technical difficulties, folks. So Josh is up next. He has picked Silent Hill. And Josh, tell us a little bit about Silent Hill.
Silent Hill nowadays is kind of a little bit of a meme. But when it originally started off, it was a very deep, psychologically based horror game. But the issue is, they kind of lost sight of what made it good and started becoming more and more of, oh, scary monster, shoot, bang, bang.
Yeah.
So, but what it really was an in-depth look into a psyche of a character. It was a character study game. And I am ready for my... Well, I mean, I guess we should say that the movie followed the first storyline, and that's kind of what I feel is the trial run for Silent Hill games. But I am ready to start my pitch.
All right, I will hit the button right now. Go to town. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no!
Well, that was his pitch.
Oh, that's the. I think it's a good pitch. I think it's a pretty solid.
Okay, I'm
pitch. Okay, let's
Restart.
Oh boy!
That
All
was
right.
weird. Just like immediately once I said start, it just cut out completely.
Did fog start rolling in? Did any did the walls turn to like weird chains and
You're
stuff?
like a high pitched static.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna hit the button now. Please don't disconnect. Go.
Okay, I'll try. Okay, so my thing about Silent Hill is that we don't go to Silent Hill 1. Silent Hill 1's kind of got a little bit of a abstract story. Let's stick with Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 is a story of a man who is drawn to a weird town by a note from his dead wife. His wife died 3 years ago from a terminal disease. As you go through the game, there's these monsters that come out, but as you progress, you find out that everyone who's drawn to Silent Hill sees them as different things. So what they are based on your psyche. For instance, there's a guy who is drawn there because he sent a bully to the hospital. He sees everyone, the monsters, as people laughing at him. So instead of basing the movie off of a game, which is kind of what this first Silent Hill is, we ignore the gameplay conceits. There's no weapons, there's no big pyramid head running around tearing people in half. We focus on the psychological causes of James's trauma. Spoiler alert for a very old game, but it actually turns out that he actually killed his wife instead of her dying to a terminal illness, and that's why he's punishing himself by going there. So in my movie, there's like scary nurses, but they're not there because, ooh, scary nurse, scary. They're there because they are the embodiment of his guilt for being sexually attracted to other women while his wife was dying. So it's that kind of thing where I'm not good at horror, so I can't really pitch a really good horror story, but my focus is the theme, and instead of making it about, what the actual Silent Hill movies were, which is, terrible, it's a very introspective horror movie that explores guilt and very much a drama instead of a horror, that kind of thing. Well, I mean, obviously there's horror.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Those 3 words.
I have a lot to say about Silent Hill. I love Silent Hill.
Silent Hill, The Guilt Trip. I like it. That's already a crossover. It's with that movie with Barbara Streisand.
Where the devil lives.
So, excellent, Josh. Thank you. Rounding us off, anchoring this entire pod, we have Kayla. We have Doom. Let me know a little bit about Doom.
Doom is originally a video game that was released in 1993. You are playing as a space marine who gets called to this special camp at Mars, or camp research facility, whatever. And they have a portal to hell, and monsters are all over the place, and you have to kill them. That's essentially Doom. And yeah, that's... Did you want... I'm ready to go on to the next thing.
Yeah. Let's, are you ready for your pitch?
Mm-hmm.
So, start now.
So, in the 2005 movie, I'm basically going to have a redemption for poor Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Carl Urban and Rosamund Pike. bringing them all back. We're basically going to have a straight up remake, except for it'll be prettier. A lot more of better lighting and better monsters. A lot more monsters, a lot more guns that are actually from the video game, and actually a portal from hell. Or to hell. Of hell. So you will be still having the two main guys, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Carl Urban. You can still have the scenes where they kind of have to duke it out, and there is no chromosome stuff in this. That part doesn't need to exist. It'll be very over the top, very loud, very suspenseful. This will be more of a action film that doesn't have a bunch of exciting. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But that's pretty much it.
Excellent. Yeah, no hell in the first Doom movie. So, let's go to hell. Let's go to
Ouch.
hell. If anyone doesn't know, Doom is set in hell. So, that's
Right.
that's what you need.
First Doom, you got to go through like 3 planets before you get to hell. All right.
Oh well, they stayed on one planet and no hell. So in the movie,
You go to Mars, then you go to the moon, then you go to hell.
done. Write the script right now.
You go to the Mars moon.
Yeah.
Yes. Phobos or whatever.
So, before we get into round 2 of this discussion, also, way to go, guys. That was great. So we had Me Alone in the Dark, Doom from Kayla, Silent Hill from Josh, Hitman from Tomas, Double Dragon from Ryan, and Captain N, the Game Master from Mike. So, mid-game break. We're going to talk about crossovers. Crossovers are pretty common, especially in, fighting games. They come to mind for me with Super Smash Brothers, Marvel vs. Capcom. What else do we got there? Fortnite, not a fighting game, a battle royale, but everything is in Fortnite now. Not as common in movies. I looked it up, I Wikipedia'd it, and most of the movie crossovers have been like Universal monsters, like the Wolfman meets the vampire, or whatever, Dracula, that kind of thing. You don't have a lot of movie crossovers. I think we need some. What do you think, Mike, about crossovers in general, and do we need more movie crossovers?
I don't think we need more movie crossovers. I like the idea of them, especially in games. A fun one that was kind of kicked around lately was there was gonna be a 21 Jump Street crossover with Men in Black. Was a rumor for a while, and I thought that would have been really cool and a fun idea.
Yeah, that's super fun.
Yeah.
How about you, Tomas? Crossovers, yay, nay?
I don't know. It just seems kind of hard to do. I think you would have to not try to take it too seriously, in my opinion. Do something a little bit more funny, comedy kind of. But a lot of genres don't really seem to overlap well. And it also, you have to take into account that the audience has to be familiar with both sides of the equation. I don't know, man. It seems like a lot of groundwork to even get something like that off the ground. I think the monsters ones work because, if you Godzilla, kaiju stuff, or giant monsters, it seems to be in its own genre of itself. But it's some of the shit that we're about to pitch, couldn't see it happening in a million years. So I don't know. It'd be an interesting experiment. I don't know if anybody would ever want to dish out the kind of money that would go into those kind of failures, though.
Josh, I know you love crossovers. What are your thoughts?
Cross-teching.
I hate crossovers. I think they're the worst things ever. I don't know. I just feel like there can be good crossovers, but I feel like doing most crossovers dilutes the original's purpose / message. it's really hard to have like a central theme, like a really well thought out story, and then just shoehorn Hattori Hanzo in. He's in there now, whatever, moving forward. It could be dumb fun, but I think if you're gonna make something like truly special, you have to have your own vision. You can't do a crossover.
Hattori Hanzo, it's a Tarantino pull, right?
No, that's Samurai Warriors. Come on, get your stuff
Oh,
together.
Isn't Hattori Hanzo in Kill Bill?
Japanese.
Yeah, he's a folk legend kind of thing.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm saying it's a QT pull. How about you, Ryan? You like crossovers?
I love crossovers. Crossovers, give some of the best. No, for all serious, crossovers is this cheap ploy to get extra money and seats in the theater. Personally, even though you get things like Freddy vs. Jason, Space Jam, what else can I think of here? Alien vs. Predator. You kind of fun movies like that. I think in live action form, it's really hard to pull off. But if you do animated, you can cross over anything, make it fun, and adaptable for children. But live action form, it's really difficult to do, and you have to really, like Tomas says, people have to be on both sides of the aisle, know what both franchises are about. Otherwise, why would you go see it? Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you guys consider Wreck-It Ralph a crossover.
Oh, yeah.
I consider Wreck-It Ralph a crossover, and I also consider it the greatest thing that's ever happened. What do you think about Wreck-It Ralph, Kayla?
Oh, I love Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph. What I wanted to say about crossovers is, I feel like crossovers imply like a length of time that they both need to be a part of the story, which is too much. But I'm a big fan of Easter eggs, which I feel like Wreck-It Ralph is just a bunch of Easter eggs.
I agree.
Yeah, I love that concept of Easter eggs, because I feel like that has only grown in pretty much all media, whether you're talking TV, video games, movies, just putting Easter eggs of other franchises, other characters in. So that's a good...
It's a type of crossing over. It's just little sprinkles of it.
Yeah. I think it's the most common, probably, type of crossover. So, I brought up crossovers, and Tomas spoiled it, but that's what we're doing. We are crossing over the movies that we've already picked. So I'm going to tell you the rules here. So we got 6 movies to play with. We're going to go in reverse order of what we did earlier. So the reverse order is now Kayla, Josh, Eric, Tomas, Ryan, Mike. So Kayla gets to go first because she got to go last turn. And she has to cross something over with her pick from the first round. So she has to cross over something with Doom. One of the other 5 movies or TV shows that we have pitched. And it has to be specifically the pitch. Not necessarily the property, but the pitch. So, she has to first off remember, good luck, what everyone else pitched, and then do her best to make a baby from these things. And this is how we make a baby for anyone in the video feed. I did a weird thing with my fingers. Not what you think. So if you understand the rules, we do now. Kayla, you can start at any point. I'm going to set a 3-minute timer here for you to just pitch it up. So whenever you're ready.
Go.
And
I will choose to cross over my Doom with Alone in the Dark. And the way that would work is, I know in Alone in the Dark there's artifacts, and some of those artifacts are what help open the gate to hell, and there will be an investigator there, investigating the super paranormal activities, and so this will add to the monsters that Doom guy / Alone in the Dark guy
Edward Carnby, okay?
can investigate and fight, and so they work together, in their investigation / elimination of creepy satanic monsters that are from Doom, as well as creepy octopus guys from H.P. Lovecraft and other creepy, dark, gothic monsters. That's pretty much it.
Wow. Short and sweet. I think it works. All right. So now, because Kayla chose Alone in the Dark, that is going to exclude me from picking Doom, because I can't just use the exact same thing. So now I only have the additional 4 choices. So that's how the game is going to work. Josh is going to be up next. If you remember, he chose Silent Hill. Josh, whenever you're ready, I will start the timer.
I'm so ready.
Hitting start.
I'm so glad that I get to go second, and I'm so glad Kayla did not pick Silent Hill, because mine is Silent Hill Doom. I think this is a super slam dunk natural fit. The idea is, hell has been destroyed. It's done. But now The Rock has to deal with, the aftermath of it, his PTSD and all that. So he goes on a small little vacation, a little bit of quality time, to a little town called Silent Hill. The issue is, though, he starts seeing glimpses of his past and all the murder he's done, even though it was, in his mind, justified, was it actually? So he starts experiencing hallucinations. He starts seeing things as hellspawn. But the thing is, he meets other people who aren't experiencing this. So the entire movie, it's kind of like an unreliable narrator, where you have to make a decision of whether he's actually seeing these, if hell's invading Earth, or if he's experiencing, that. The movie ends on my favorite kind of movie ending. There's a gunshot, fade to black, no resolution. Done.
Oh, boy. Gunshot, fade to black. That will be... that'll be how this episode ends, I think. So... All right. Oh boy. I like it. So I'm next. If you remember, I had Alone in the Dark, and I can't pick Doom. I like Alone in the Dark and Hitman. I think they work really well. I should hit start. So dock me 15 seconds. So Alone in the Dark, Hitman. Like I said, my pitch for Alone in the Dark is episodic. It's a 10 episode, let's say HBO show. Hitman kills dudes. That's what he does. So he's leaving a lot of bodies, and he's leaving a trail of bodies. Who's going to investigate these bodies? Well, that's Edward Carnby, the main character of Alone in the Dark. If you know anything about the Hitman games, and probably the movie, Hitman likes to kill people in unconventional ways. It's going to have a tinge of the supernatural. He's going to be investigating some odd people who were murdered by someone in a chef's costume, but they were murdered by a giant lamp and things of that nature. Things that people don't believe. The cops are dismissing them as suicides. They're dismissing them as people being crazy because Hitman's so good at what he does. He covers his tracks. So Edward Carnby has to investigate these murders, and all while he's on the wrong trail. He thinks it's all supernatural. He doesn't have any idea that it's Hitman. So we've got Nicolas Cage bumbling through this, thinking, oh my god, it's Cthulhu. He's murdering everyone with these pots. And everything. And no one knows why, because it was shadowy monsters. Oh, God. But really, it was just an assassin, bred for it. And this becomes a comedy series, of course. A dark comedy, a la, like a Barry. Let's call this Barry. So now it's True Detective meets Barry, but still, no kung fu. That's my pitch.
Well, Barry has kung fu.
No kung fu. No kung fu. All right. So next on our list is Tomas, who had Hitman. He cannot pick Alone in the Dark because of the rules and also because you can't outdo me.
Can't outdo you, huh? Okay. I'm gonna pick Captain N. I think I can roll this into something.
All right. When would you like to start?
Just let it go now, baby.
Boom.
All right, so we'll start at the end of my movie with the burning building, Hitman standing there. It's like, all right, it's time to start life. And all of a sudden you start hearing, and all of a sudden Aerosmith's car pulls up around the corner and Steven Tyler comes out and he throws his keys at Agent 47. He's like, come with me, man. Captain N's stuck in the VR world and you're the only person who has the expertise to save him. So they go in and they jump into this virtual reality world. And essentially, and then I'll still tie in the MMA because, you know, that's what he wanted to do with his life and his dreams. So he gets in there and he has to work his way through whatever levels to try to save Captain N. And it ends up going into like Ready to Rumble 3 is like the last video game they end up in. And he's got to box a young Mike Tyson, of course. And not quite MMA, but he's still using his hands, and it's like it's the first step into his dream of becoming a prize fighter. And that's pretty much all I really wanted to shoot. I just wanted to work that Aerosmith quip in there. This is a 1990s Renaissance Aerosmith version of Steven Tyler throwing him the keys. Oh. And the people who take over the headset is the New Order Nation.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious. Oh, boy. Oh, dude looks like a hitman. I gotcha. Okay. So, Ryan.
That song was Eat the Rich, by the way.
Nope. Dude looks like a hitman. That's what we got. Ryan is next up. If you remember, he had Double Dragon. Everything's open to him because no one's picked his thing at this point. So the world is yours, Ryan.
All right.
What would you like to cross with Double Dragon?
Alone in the Dark.
Oh boy, the best one. You're right. You're right. You've made the right choice. So tell me when to start.
All right. Start whenever.
It is started.
All right. So you have the H.P. Lovecraft tone of Alone in the Dark with Edward Canby, I believe his name was, investigating a bunch of grotesque figures within New York, which leads him to the haunted mansion he doesn't, in the game. Essentially, you're seeing a lot of these weird shadow creatures come out and make crimes and very Cthulhu sort of vibes. So it leads him to this place, ends up being the hideout of the Shadow Warriors gang that just so happens to be the outfit of, instead of T-9000, it's Arnold instead, head of the gang, along with a bunch of puns. Jimmy Lee and Billy Lee, I think the name is, basically fight, and with the help of Edward, they figure out this mystery of Alone in the Dark times Double Dragon. That's all I got.
Right. I mean, it writes itself, honestly.
It does,
so, yeah, you don't really have to give too much extra on that one.
I believe it's Bimmy and Jimmy.
Bimmy and Jimmy. Those are the names. Okay. Alone in the Dark crossed with Double Dragon. It's gonna win 7 Emmys. I don't know what the Emmys are for. Okay, Mike, please tell us what you're going to cross with Captain N. You are excluded from Hitman. I'm sorry.
Hitman was going to be my pick.
No,
I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Doom.
Doom. All right. So, tell me when you're ready to cross Captain N and Doom.
I'm ready.
Start.
So at the point of Captain N is like they're trying to complete this campaign and hopes to get out of the game world. That doesn't happen. There's actually like an additional challenge that they have to go through, and they kind of awaken not in like their normal, like they're kind of like soldiers or something within that Fortnite campaign. are actually, they look like demons. So like Ninja is like an imp. Drake can be like a cacodemon or something like that from the Doom world. And I'm going to keep Kayla's cast from her movie. I like The Rock and Rosamund Pike and such being in that, but it's going to be not such a serious tone. It's going to be more comedic, which I think would suit The Rock better. And it's they're trying to get to the BFG, the big effing gun, and it's kind of becomes a battle for who can get there first. And they're kind of one-upping each other throughout the adventure, and trying to get it.
Thank you. Thank you for censoring the F in BFG. I appreciate it. It'll, I don't have to put the beep sound in later in the edit room. So thank you. This is an explicit podcast, Mike. It's the big fucking gun. All right.
Hey, whoa.
Whoa.
Drop
F-bombs
in here.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
All right. We don't have enough. Joe Biden also asked for more F-bombs, so...
More F-bombs.
Yeah,
we got you, Joe. We got that stimulus of F-bombs for you.
Yeah, he said...
1,400.
Yeah, we need 1,400 F-bombs for all the kids. So, all right, to recap. We had Kayla with her Doom and Alone in the Dark crossover. We had Josh with a Doom Silent Hill crossover. Me with an Alone in the Dark Hitman crossover. A Hitman Captain N crossover from Tomas. Ryan crossed over Double Dragon and Alone in the Dark. And Mike, Captain N and Doom. Doom was very popular. Chosen 3 times on this list. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little bit of a debate, folks. We're going to...
Hey, y'all.
To fight it out.
Ding, ding, ding.
On what is number 1, number 2, and number 3 of the best pitches we've had. So, I'm going to pencil in. I'm just going to pencil in right at the top. Alone in the Dark Hitman by Eric. I'm gonna pencil in a 1 next to it. What would you say to that, Josh?
I agree.
Okay.
That's it. I think it's the best fit.
Oh, well, time's up. So that's number 1. We got it. So Ryan, I would like to hear your top 3. What do you think were the 3 best pitches?
I think yours was in the top 3. I would probably put it at 2. I think number 1 was probably Tomas's pitch. No. In all seriousness, probably Josh is probably the best. Yours is probably the second best, and third I'd probably have to go with mine.
Alright.
Because it just works and it goes. Yeah.
So we gotta vote for... Hey, we gotta vote for Josh, we gotta vote for me, and we gotta vote for Ryan. Alright. Kayla, what would be your top 3?
I'm voting for mine.
I'm
nice.
Voting for Josh's. And I'll vote for Nelson's.
Ooh, Nelson with a vote on the board.
Yeah, he's, he's got a good plot.
All right, so, I'm gonna be the wild card here. I'm not voting for mine, because I'm altruistic. I care about my cast members. I'm not voting for mine, okay? I think Josh did a great job. It just makes sense. Doom and Silent Hill, right? Come on, Josh gets a vote. I'll put that 3 because it's too easy. All right. I actually really kind of liked the Alone in the Dark Hitman, but I can't do it. I said that already. Well, I was going to do that. Hitman Captain N gets a vote for me from Tomas, and I just want more Captain N. I think Captain N Dune gets a Doom. I think I said Dune. There's no Doom.
Ooh.
Right, Mike, could you do me a quick Captain N Dune crossover, please, if you could? No.
Yeah. Ninja is a sandworm. Oh.
Josh, what are your top 3?
My top 3 is number 1. I'm gonna go with Eric's Alone in the Dark Hitman. I think that is a slam dunk. That could easily be a thing. Like, that's my number 2 is mine. Because, hey. And my number 3, that one's tough. I think I'm also going to go with Tomas's.
Yeah, go me.
I'm going to go with Tomas's on my number 3.
Hitman Captain N. Okay.
Nice.
Tomas, what's your votes?
Obviously picking mine first because I'm not as modest as Eric. Number 2, I will pick Josh's because my original idea was Agent 47 going to Silent Hill to deal with his past. And then I think I'm gonna have to go with probably Mike on number 3 because I like the idea of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson potentially shooting Ninja. So
Potentially.
This is a kid show. I don't know. Rethinking. Mike, what are your picks?
Mine's the best. I like mine.
I'm noise.
And Eric's and Kayla's.
All right. So, Josh and Mike are leading the pack, so we're going to pencil them in at the top here. And we have 3 votes for Eric and Tomas, so we need to figure that one out, guys. I'm not going to be nice anymore. I'm going to say that mine wins. So my vote is for my pick. Kayla, who would you pick?
So now we're picking between the two.
We're picking between the 2.
Now we all vote again.
Yep.
I'll pick Tomas's.
Okay. Ryan, who you got? Me or Tomas?
Eric.
Boom.
I'll remember this.
Eric.
Tomas.
I'll remember this again. Me.
No, you won't.
And Josh.
I voted for both of these movies, but one was my number 1 and one was my number 3. I'm going with my number 1, Eric's.
Damn. Okay,
Tomas is eliminated from this game and also from the pod. I didn't tell you guys.
Bye, guys.
He's gone. He's out. That's it. Disconnect.
I got
please.
trapped in the Captain End.
Crossover.
Yeah, Mike, if you could, or Ryan, if you could just remove him from the Discord and also unfriend him as well, please, on all social. Okay, so we've got a top 3 tentative. We're not going to put them in order yet, but we have a Josh, we have a Mike, and we have an Eric. So
I don't like that order.
Maybe not. Let's fight it out.
Wait. Hold a second.
Yeah,
it should be just between me and Nelson. Eric, you're 3rd.
Oh no! No!
You're 3rd.
No.
Yes.
I don't know about that, Josh.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know about that. If you want me to vote you for first, so maybe rethink it.
We had to re-vote to even get you in 3rd.
Game of crossovers.
All right, Ryan, what do you feel about this? Do you feel I should just be 3rd and cry?
I think Mike should be 3rd.
Oh, hey, yo. What do you think about that, Mike? Do you think you should be 3rd? You should be 3rd, Mike?
No, my pitch is the best pitch.
Fine, I'll be nice for the 2nd time today, and I will say that I have the 3rd best pitch. I'm 3rd. Kayla showed it. If you're not watching the video, she did a 3, and it broke my heart.
So how many votes does the 2 top contenders have?
Doesn't matter. They are votes are wiped out. Votes are wiped out. So we got a
3rd round.
So 3rd round. So we got Josh with his Doom Silent Hill crossover. And we got Mike with his Captain N the Game Master Doom crossover. Josh, I'm going to give you 1 minute.
What?
On the clock. I'm going to give you 1 minute to defend yourself.
I'll let Josh pick if he wants to go first or second.
Ooh.
Josh, would you like to defend yourself first or second?
Man, confidence.
I'll go first because my defense is going to be very easy.
You have 1 minute starting right now. Defend yourself.
The choice is a moral dilemma. Do you choose what could be the best movie of all time, or do you choose a movie that's more likely to be successful and a more cohesive and good movie? I think Nelson has the on average will be better movie, but I have that spark. I have that 1 in a million chance to make it. That's my defense.
Wow. I don't agree with your defense.
Thanks,
Mike, you're going to have 1 minute as soon as I say go, but the next time I say go. The next time. Go.
Captain M.
So I believe Josh's initial pitch was to take away like the combat and the bang bang shooties from Silent Hill games, and then he wants to implement Doom, which is nothing but bang bang shooties. I don't think that's a good mix. I think my movie just makes more sense. It's just going to be made in Unreal. That's what Mandalorian's already doing all the time. It'll be cheap. It opens itself up to so many options and spin-offs, and it just makes a lot of sense.
Doom Captain N makes a lot of sense. I don't know.
It does.
Real quick counterpoint. That's the point of a crossover, is to change it. That's it. Okay.
Oh, damn.
I
don't
kind
think
of
that
like
you're changing it into the thing that you didn't like. You said it.
But that's why you take the Doom property and you add that to it. It actually is a crossover. But anyways, let's go for the vote.
Fight.
I do want... wait up. I do want to... So is this a Doom that you don't fight in as much?
No, it is, because that's what you're bringing from the Doom franchise.
Okay. Gotcha.
There is fighting. There are hell monsters. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's going to get his hands dirty, but it's also got the setting of Silent Hill and the more psychological based stuff.
Okay. I was hoping for a pacifist rock. I don't know. That's fine. Okay. So, knowing what you know now, hearing what you've heard now, Ryan, which of these two pitches?
Joe Biden's telling me that Captain M's pitch against retort against Josh is pretty solid. I think Captain M's. Mike.
Ooh. Mike with vote number 1.
Sleepy Joe.
Okay. Kayla?
Mike.
Shit. Well,
Ow.
I didn't think I had to have an explanation of it. I thought it was just a vote.
no, it can be. It can be what it is. Tomas.
I love the idea of The Rock fighting demons and then fighting his own inner demons, so I'm going with Josh.
Oh boy. So I've become the deciding vote here. I can give Mike this match, or I can get into a situation that I didn't plan for where they tie. I have no out on if they tie.
Flip a coin, baby.
It's a triple crossover.
Yeah. Oh, wait up. Wait up.
I like it.
Oh boy, triple cross. No. I said, if Josh voted me third, if Josh locked that in, that I would be third, I wouldn't vote for him. I'm sticking to my guns. Mike wins.
Ouch.
Ooh.
Man.
Politics, got it.
So,
Recount.
Mike, how does it feel to be the Spielberg, the Scorsese, the Greta Gerwig,
Ooh.
Greta Thunberg.
the Uwe of this podcast?
Like Captain M. Night Shyamalan.
Feels great, you know. Not since Flintstones meets the Jetsons, Power Rangers meets Ninja Turtles, Xena meets Hercules. This This is the next big crossover as far as motion picture, TV series, whatever goes. You guys made the right choice. Thank you.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we made the moral choice, I think. I think we did. So Mike wins with his Captain N Doom crossover. I hope everyone had a lot of fun. That was ridiculous. We'll never do this again. I promise. But,
Yes, we will.
triple crossover right now! No. Thank you guys, for doing that. That was a lot of fun. Before we wrap up, I wanted to devote a little segment to some shout-outs that we got. So the first one is going to be a video shout-out. Everyone here, I spoiled it to everyone in the cast already, but at home, you're going to get to hear it now.
Yay!
Hey guys, just wanted to say love the podcast. Keep up the good work. It's really enjoyable to listen to you guys. It's like we're all just sitting in a living room, chatting about everything. Kayla, she's my favorite. She's the coolest. No, really, y'all are great. And can't wait to hear it for the next episode. Keep up the good work, guys.
And because this is recorded, what I'm going to do is just cut up the audio, and it's going to all mix in there. But you won't know, aside from the fact that I'm telling you now. So, thank you to Jenny for leaving us that wonderful voice message. Very nice. Love the shout out. We had another. It was more of a question. We got some listener engagement going on. We had a question, a message sent to us. They had a question on why we're not called the cast members. Why the cast members aren't called the Monstars. Oftentimes, I will abbreviate the Machine of Nonsense as MON, and maybe I'll say Monpod. So you'd think Monstars, right? That's the cast member names. I tried it. Initially, we did some beta testing, and immediately we got a cease and desist order from the Space Jam people. It's weird. They signed the letter, the Space Jam people. So, thank you very much for your question, Demetrius. But we couldn't do it for the legality of it. Mike, what's up? What do you think of the Monstars?
I love that idea of us being called the Monstars. My initial idea, I remember telling Eric that I had an idea for what our fans would be called, and that's what I thought. Oh, Monstars would be you. Ones that makes this possible.
Wait up. I'm getting a call.
Biden?
Yes, Mr. Space Jam, yes. Okay. If we keep doing what we're doing, more crossovers. Okay, cool. I can make that. Quadruple crossovers. That's okay. That's gonna be rough. Mr. Space Jam. I can do it. All right. Thanks. Bye. So that was Mr. Space Jam. And he says we can have Monstars. We can have it for our fans. Ooh. So to our fans, to Katie Berry, to Demetrius, and to Jenny, you're the Monstars. Everyone else out there on social media, maybe become a Monstar. Leave us a voice message, send us a message. You too can be featured on this here podcast. Yeah. So, yes, we're going to wrap it up now. And what was that, Kayla?
I'll also shout out to our niece.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so I've said in the past that I've got a wonderful memory and I remember everything that's ever been said to me. So my sister recently had a little bundle of joy right around the time we started this podcast, and she said that my niece needs a shout out. So Scarlett, our youngest fan, I'm pretty sure.
Welcome to the Monstars.
Welcome to the Monstars.
Yo. Welcome to the fold.
Ariel once dressed as Lola Bunny from Space Jam.
Big old circle.
That's how we got it.
Big old circle.
She knows people.
I'm glad Mr. Space Jam cleared it up because I don't want to be called Pod Stars. That would have been whole other legal ramifications.
No, we'll think of a name for us at some point. But this is the point where I say thank you guys so much for listening. Please subscribe to the pod. Please engage in our social media. Let us know what we can add, and leave us a voice message. You can be like Jenny and be in this podcast.
Let us know if you have any suggestions of things that we should watch and talk about, or play and talk about, or even cross over.
Absolutely.
Maybe you got a name for us. You know, we're nameless at this point. No, we're not. We're the Machine of Nonsense. How about everyone says goodbye to all the monsters out there?
Hey now.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
Comment, subscribe.
Good evening.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Selena this morning, she was like, you think I could just ask Alexa to play your podcast? And I'm like, yeah, that might work. She said, Alexa, play Machine of Nonsense. And Alexa goes, okay, here's Machine of Nonsense, episode 8. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me...
Dude, that's amazing.
No way!
Wow,
Oh my
that's funny
God!
as shit.
Oh! Oh my God, that's wonderful.